that one. Because of that one, we are not learning that one as well. So that is the thing. So, and we have very important concept in our 15th lesson. So very important. What are the things we have in 15th lesson means who is workspace administrator and who is user. These are the very important topics we have in 15th lesson. So we should be aware all those things, how each and every concept will work, and what are the things we have. So we need to learn about that things, and we have select different types of roles will create in 15th lesson. So what are the different roles we have, and how we need to create the role, and how we need to provide the any user. These type of things will watch here. So these are the very important things we have. Sudhir once called to Arshad Ahmed and Faiz,
Okay.
SM Office, Ayan, all these guys. Very important topics are going on here. So
Asif, sorry to interrupt you. So the classic dashboards will not come in level 1 exam as well?
no, it will not come. Yes,
So because it's like earlier version, now it's not no more use it as of now, right? Which is
yes,
replaced by
yes.
UX pages.
Nowadays we are using totally new UX pages only.
Okay.
Yes. So we don't have classic dashboard. No one is using. So that is the reason they have like removed it even. So just we have like this 15th lesson is the important one we have. So in 15th lesson we don't have any activities, but still each and every interviewer they will ask what are the roles. You can see how we can add the users, how we can create the roles, and what are the security levels we have in Anaplan. So each and every interviewer, these questions are the minimum questions they will ask. So everyone should understand this concept, and we should do these activities. Do nothing but we need to implement from our side. We don't have any activities here. How we need to add any user means we can simply add any user here. So how we have that concept here, how we'll add users and everything we can see. So basically first is that we can see user, adding user, how we'll add user we can see here. So if I open any model here, so for example this is my level 1 example model.
Sir, this example model, in which lesson we can download that one?
1.4 lesson, Sudhir. First lesson on
One point.
1.4.
Acha, acha, okay.
So you have asked this question 2-3 times, Sudhir. Why you are not able to download that one?
Yeah, actually, I did not see that option exactly. That is why I'm asking.
No, exactly 1.4 you can see.
Okay.
In 1.4
Okay.
lesson you can find it. 100% you can find. Even in our in our class also I have shown in that recording session as well. So anyway, we can see here. We can see. So this is the user pane. How we can add any user means, so whenever I click here on users pane, so you can see two names you can see. So if I want to add any user, what should I do? Simply I should add user like this. So for example, if I want to give any user email ID, first name, last name, then if I give any username here like you can see here, if I give username here, so what happened, simply So if I add email ID here, it will ask first name. Simply we can give here first name, whatever it. So first name and last name we should give. So generally we user don't give workspace administrator access. You can see if we give full access, each and every UX page and every modules they can control. So that is the reason we can select the no access. If you give no access, nothing they can access. If you give full access, they can access the whole modules, they can access whole list, they can access. So we'll create the roles here. You can see role, product planner, financial planner. So whatever the role belongs to in that company, we'll provide that role to user and will select here. And if I click here, what happens, simply one SMS will send to this Ali Anaplan 720 at the gmail.com. There will get notification like that we should reset that password there. This user should reset their password. So by resetting the password, what happened, they will get the access on the base of this role. This is the how we need to add the user. This is the procedure. Is it clear how we are adding the user?
Yeah, it is clear. But what is the difference between the workspace admin and this role?
So we will get later. Workspace administrator, nothing but we are the workspace administrator. For example, you can
Okay.
see here, I am a workspace administrator. If I am a workspace administrator, what can I do? I can get each and everything edit here. I can access all these controls. I can edit time, versions, generalist, everything I can edit. But generally what happened, for end user we don't give workspace administrator access. Why means, if I give workspace administrator access, they can access all these things. But generally,
Configurations can change.
so they will do the structural changes. So that will be problem for us. Generally we, for end user, will not provide workspace administrator access. Who will get workspace administrator access means only Anaplan model builders get the workspace administrator access. So that is the reason. So we don't give workspace administrator to any end user. Generally we'll provide the role. So if we don't provide even full access as well, if you give full access, they can access every page, every module, everything they can access. That is the reason. You can see what will you do, simply will create some role here. You can see full access and no planner we have. We'll add one role here. So for example, what is the role? Financial manager. Finance manager role I will create. Finance manager if I create, so what happened? Simply, so if whenever I select here roles modules, you can see, please you can see here each and every module, you can see no, none here. None means nothing can access here. So read access means, if I give read access, this finance
You are
manager can read this module. So if I provide write access, what happened, they can
can
edit the
modify.
data. If I give none access,
Nothing is there. Don't have the right
You
to
only, you only,
view
you
only.
only, none means.
read means view, write
Hmm.
means edit the data, none means nothing, he can even view the data.
Okay, he is not able to open.
Yes. So that is the three access will provide. So each and every role, each and every module. So whatever for finance manager, what are the roles they need, what are the modules he needs generally. So for that modules only will keep the, on the base of his requirement, read and write access will provide. So by providing this one, so if finance manager means on the finance role, how many people will work? 5 people or 6 people will work. So for each and every finance employee will give this role. For example, finance role will give. So then what happened? For by selecting one, whenever I am adding new user, I will give simply this finance user and this finance role and will provide access to him. So whatever the modules I create, provide the access here, that module only they can access. So other than that module, different module they can't access. For product planner also one user. So for this role also we will provide few module access, whatever the related to the product. So that modules we provide access. You can see already. So for what are the modules they have given access? Price book they have given, price volume we have given, margin calculation we have given read access. They can read only this data. They can't edit any data. and price here price growth rates we have given right axis, and we can see here employee expenses, non-employee expenses, employee expenses and employee driver expenses we have given right axis, non-employee expenses as well we have given right axis, and for here we have given reporting modules we have given read access. On the base of their requirement will provide these modules, whatever the read I will we have provided they can view the data, whatever the write we have given they will edit the data. So in this way they can do all these things by creating the role, and for each and every role we provide the access. So on the base of their requirement we'll provide the access to the each and every user. This is the procedure. So this is nothing but adding the role and adding the user, and how we'll provide the access, what are the basic access we have here, none, read, write and none, and what are the roles we have access, basic, so we have full access and no access. Then we have the different roles here. In this way we have the different access here. So these are the basic things we have, and once if you go through these things we'll get again same thing we can see here. We can go through these videos once. I have stopped my screen. Give me 1 minute. I will get back to you. Send message as a rejoin Sudhir once.
Okay, sir.
Learn how to add a new user or a group of new users to a model. You can add a single user or import a group of users to a model. You'll also need to add a model role. The model roles include full access, no access, and any roles that have been created. The default access setting for a new user is full access, but that may not be the best setting, especially if there are end users who will have a specific role. A best practice is to add new users and their role. If they don't have a role, assign the no access setting. Then update the setting to the correct access and role when these are available.
So whenever we are adding any new user, so if you add, like if we provide, we have two options here: full access, no access. So by providing full access is not a best practice. We should give the only role, we should give the access only whatever the specific role he has in the company. So that is the reason we should create the role for each and every employee. So here um, I have shown like single user how we can add here. So same thing we can do here. If I want to import from Excel file, so if I have 100 or 200 user, in that scenario we'll import from Excel file. How we import any Excel file to Anaplan, same way, upload new file. So whatever the users we have, so that file we can apply here. So in this way we can add single user and we can import one file as well. So these are the different options we have here.
To add a new user, open the Users panel from the Model Settings bar. Then, click Add User. In the Add User dialog that displays, enter the user's email address, first and last names, and select the model role from the role drop-down list. You can also select the Workspace Admin checkbox if the new user should have Workspace administration rights. Select the Authentication with Single Sign-On checkbox if the user will be using the Single Sign-On feature.
So we can provide even single sign-on option also we have generally. So each and every time we'll get authentication message they will get. So by providing that one, if they provide that number, then only that model will get access. Otherwise, if they don't enter that authentication code, it will not get access. So that is also one high security we have for this each and every model. While logging, it will ask.
When you add a new user, an email notification is sent to the user that tells them that they have been added to an Anaplan workspace and includes a link to log into that workspace.
So by clicking that one, by using that your credential, they can log in into Anaplan models.
You can import a group of users from a file or from another model. If you are importing from a file, be sure to have your file set up with the email address, first name, last name, and model role defined. Any users that should be set up as Workspace administrators will need to be selected after the import.
So if any user need a Workspace administrator access, in that scenario, after importing that, we can select here. We should assign as a Workspace administrator access here, but generally we don't provide Workspace administrator access to the users. So why means they will do the changes. So that is the reason we don't allow any Workspace any general user to this one. But if we have any very like management users we have, for example, they need to provide access, they need to do something from client side, for that people will provide. But generally they, why they provide means, if you provide Workspace administrator access, then only they will add any user and everything, all these things only do the Workspace administrator. So if you don't have, if you are a user, you can't add in someone in this model. So that is the reason we should have Workspace administrator access to add any user, to do any structural changes, and these are the different advantages. To edit all these things, we should have the Workspace administrator access. This all whatever the icons we can see here. If you are user, you can view the data, that's it. We can't edit anything here. So that is the difference we have.
To add Workspace administrator permissions to an existing user, simply locate the end user and click the Workspace administrator checkbox. This gives the user Workspace administrator or WSA rights in the model.
So here we need to select the Workspace administrator access so that they will get the access. we have seen here already like how we will add role and how we will provide the access to each and every role. So we have seen. So this one also, each and every interview they will ask in one role. If I create any role, so for that role I can create, you can see finance manager and planner, I can give the module access, and for that role I can give the versions access, I can give the list access, and I can give the action access also we can provide. So these are the four, for each and every role we can provide these access. So each and every interviewer, these question they will ask, for each and every role what are the access we can provide here. So these are the very important question. So we should understand this one, how we'll provide the access and how it works. We should understand this one.
Roles model.
Roles are used to provide security for a model. The most basic roles are the full access and no access model roles that are automatically available in all models. In addition, you can add roles that will control access for a group of users. The role can be based on a job position, geography or location, or other conditions.
So we can see role is generally we create for the group of people. So one role will create, we can give the that access to so many employees. So who are working on that department, we will provide access to the that role. So like this role is specially for the group of people we will provide. So whatever the user want to add at that time, we should provide that role.
It is easy to add and set up a role. The first step is to determine the purpose of the role and what the restrictions are. For example, the model needs a role for finance manager. This user role should be able to view modules that focus on revenue and costs and edit non-employee expenses. Employee data should not be seen by people in the finance manager role.
So we can see here we have three access generally for each and every role. We have read access, write access, none access.
None access.
Yes, are you asking something?
No, nothing. 3x. None, read and write.
Come again.
3 axis is there. None, read and write. 3
Yes,
axis.
yes, three access we have.
Yes.
So we can see for finance manager,
Oh,
what is
sorry
the
to
major?
interrupt you. Yeah, Asif, sorry to interrupt you. So at a single point of time, we can give only one axis, either read, write, or none. We cannot
So
give read and write together, like that.
for one role we can give, how we'll give access means read and write means. So I will give here, for one module I give none access whichever not required, another module I give read access, for another module I give write access. This way they are explaining.
Okay. Read and write we cannot give for a single role,
Single module we don't
for a
give,
single
for
module.
we are discussing about role not module. For one role we
Okay.
give few modules read access, few module write access, few module give none access. Now for one role we don't
Okay.
give three access.
Multiple, yeah, we cannot give.
We can see what are the modules. View modules that focus on revenue and cost. So what will you do, you can see here. So for finance manager we should give revenue module whatever we have. For revenue module we should give the revenue 01. You can see for financial manager we should give revenue module read. You can see like this we can provide on the base of their suggestion. Revenue module whatever we have, we should give the read access here. Then what is the next step?
Yeah, but Asif bhai, when we give the right access, then person can do everything, right? Read and both. But only read, person can only read but can't write, right?
Yes, yes,
So if we
correct.
give right access, that means it all
So
access, like
all
major
access they
access
will
for
get.
that.
Yes.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
We can see edit non-employee expenses. So finance manager they should edit non-employee expenses. So in that scenario what will you do? So for non-employee expenses we'll provide the right access here. Yes. So So then what happened, he can edit this data and view and edit this data, and this revenue modules only he can read the data. So you can see, cannot view any employee data, he should not watch any employee data. For employee modules we should give none, we should not turn on any access. In this way, for one access we can give the few modules for one role, few module we can give the read access, few module we can give the write access, and whichever not necessary for him we can give the none access. In this way we can control one user in on the base of their role, we can control that user.
So no need to click on apply. After a change, after doing these changes, do we need to click on apply, or by default it will get changed?
First of all, here we have turned on this, for this role I am giving selecting this one. Then what should I do? Whenever I am adding user, if I add any user, so in that, at that time I will give role. This is by giving that role it will get apply. So there no need to apply there.
So mapping the role to user. Yeah.
Yes, here we need to apply. Here while adding that user we should give that role. Here we don't need to apply anything, selecting nothing, but we are applying here.
Okay, then it will change all the finance manager roles, right? Who are working as finance manager, it is eligible for everyone.
So for all finance roles they can only view these modules and they can edit this module, and they can't access other module. That's it.
Okay.
Asif bhai, right access means he can enter the data also, na?
Yes, they can enter the data.
You can enter
Yes.
the data, but he is modified to module. If you have the right.
Modify means they will enter the data, edit and
But only
provide.
okay, enter the data only just.
Yes.
Okay.
Sir, if we want to provide to only specific person like that, like that also can we do?
If you want to provide,
No, here under finance manager, they are working, four employees are working as finance manager. Among
okay,
that four, I want to provide only for one person means. So can I do like that also?
this is
Yeah, you can.
role for group of people we are providing this access. For one person, if you want to create one access, then you can create separate role for him. Then we should apply for particular that role to him. If you want to give separate access for one person, why you create give this one? If you are giving this access means we are creating for the group of people. What we have discussed here, what is the user?
Yeah, role is for group of people. Role is for group of people.
Group of people. That's it.
Yeah.
Asubhai,
Yes.
role is for group of people, but out of 5 managers, as Sudhir asked, for one manager we wanted to give some modules, and the other manager we wanted to give some more modules. Then can we create like a finance manager 1, finance manager 2, finance manager 3, like that
If
we
you
can
want,
create and
if
give us, or
you can,
is it not a good practice?
if you want that type of role, we should create another role, finance manager 2 or something. We should create the role and you can give that access.
Simply we should create the role
And we
different
should
role
give.
name.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay,
On the base of requirement, we should give the create one role and we should give him. That's it.
These are the main steps in setting up a role. Add the name of the role. Set up permissions for modules, versions, lists, and actions. Select the modules to display in the Contents panel. In the User's Content pane, locate the user and select the role.
So simply what should we do? We should give the name of the role, set up the permission for the module, versions, list and actions. Then what should we do? Then select module to display the content. This one also we have option. Find the user and select the role. So before adding user, we should create the role. If I want to add any user, we should think for that user what type of role we should provide for that user. So that is the reason we should create the role first, and while adding the user we should give the role to the particular user. So this is the procedure.
Let's look at those steps and add some detail. The first step is to add the role. Open the user's content pane from the model settings bar. Then click the Roles tab. Next, click Insert. In the Insert into Roles dialog, type Finance Manager. At the bottom of the dialog box, select After. The role will be included after the planner role. Click OK and the role is added to the model.
Already we have created same way procedure. One role we have created.
Next, you will add permissions for modules and versions. Click the Roles, Modules tab. The default access for a module is none. You will select the type of access for each module. The choices are None. The role does not have access to the module. Read. The role can read the data in the module but cannot change any data. Write. The role can read the data and change it in the module's grid view. If you grant both read and write permission, the role would only be able to read data.
Note that even if end users will be working exclusively with UX pages rather than by opening the model, they must still be granted access to the modules and versions that provide the data for those UX pages.
So we can see here. So on the base of, if you provide the none, what happened? He doesn't give any access. So the none is the, if you provide none, no nothing will access that module. So user can't access that module. So you can't view the data. If you provide read access to any module, so then user can view the data but can't edit that any data. If you provide write access, then what happened? So they can read the data and they can write the data. That user can read and write the data. So these are the permissions we should while after creating the role. So these are the different things we have. So for add user, and after adding user, this is a one procedure. Then another concept is we have like workspace administrator role. So who is workspace administrator? For workspace administrator, what are the rights we have, and how, why Anaplan model builder need workspace administrator? We can see all these things here.
When you receive access to a workspace, your permissions will either be Workspace Administrator or User. This lesson explains what the Workspace Administrator permissions are and what functionality they provide.
So we can see what is workspace administrator by providing the workspace administrator access. What are the things we can do here?
Workspace administrators have access to the Model Settings bar, where they can add new users, assign model roles, and provide workspace administration and single sign-on functionality to users. Create new roles and administer existing roles, including setting up the contents panel for the role. Perform model building and model administration tasks. View the history of changes to a model, including the time, user, and description of the change.
So for workspace administrator access, he can control all these panels, whatever the panels we have here. So these things they can control. They can add time. They can create version. They can create list. They can create new modules. They can add new users, and they can provide roles to the users. They can view the history. Everything he can control if he has workspace administrator access. For generally end user, what will you do? We don't provide workspace administrator access. Only we provide the normal role we provide. So if they provide if we provide normal view or like role access, whatever the modules we provide access, that module only they can view and write on the base of their roles. But if you provide the workspace administrator access, he will access the entire model. He is the boss for this model. So if you provide the workspace as administrator access, and if you provide role, so what happens? Simply we can treat as a guest. Whatever the requirement we have, specific role he has, he do that work and will go out. That's it. He can't control the entire model.
Model building tasks include adding time settings, setting up versions, and adding lists. Model builders also add modules. They can edit views, change the module's lists, versions, and line items, and add formulas. End users can only view the module's blueprint view, while model builders use it to set the format for line items, as well as the time scale, version, and summary options. All model builders can run imports and exports. End users can run imports and exports only if given permission by the model builder. Model builders also create and maintain classic dashboards embedded in an Anaplan model. These activities all begin from the model settings bar and require Workspace admin rights.
So if you want to do each and every change, we need Workspace administrator access. But end user generally they don't do any structural changes. These are all comes under the structural changes. And what end user will do means, so they will do the only production changes. What is structure and production changes means, these all whatever we can see, these all are the structure. What is production means, inside this module whatever the data we have, that comes under the production data. So they can upload the data and they can run any action whatever we have give access, and they will import data into this modules whatever we provide the access. So we provide the access to the end user, they only run that actions, and they can access only that particular modules. So that is the difference between the workspace administrator and non-workspace administrator. That are the major things. And files, whenever we are discussing about difference between the workspace administrator and non-workspace administrator, we give one difference. What is the difference we know very well. So whenever if you have workspace administrator access, they can access the model in offline as well. In if you have offline, so if you have online, non-workspace administrator can't access the model. So if you have offline also, at workspace administrator can access the model, non-workspace administrator not access the model. This is one normal difference, so everyone knows. But generally other than this one, we should explain all these things. So this is whenever ask interviewer, so Arshad Ahmed, we should remember this point and we should explain these things. What is the difference between the workspace administrator access and non-workspace administrator access? These are the things we need to understand. So what are the differences?
By the non-workspace administrator means model builder, right?
Non-workspace administrator means just
Model builder.
user, nothing but user. User, for
What is,
user we don't give non-workspace administrator access, we'll provide role. Only they can access, that's it, on the base of their role.
what is the difference between workspace administrator and model builder?
That is only I am saying, if I get this is a workspace administrator access, I am
Okay.
a workspace administrator here, then I can
Okay.
edit the module, I can create new users, I can create list versions and everything I can create. But if I create role, and if I, in that role whatever the module I will give access, that only he can access. That is only difference. Again, what is the difference we have? He can't access these modules. Whatever I give none access, none thing. If none access whatever the provider, he can't access. I can access this one. That is the difference. Difference between the workspace administrator access and non-workspace administrator.
That is okay. But what is the difference between the model builder? Model builder means we can modify the model.
Model builder, we are a model builders. We are
Yes, yes.
a workspace administrator. Without workspace administrator access, we can't build the model.
Okay.
Build for each and every model builder, we should have workspace administrator access.
Okay. So model builder is required compulsory workspace
Yes,
administrator access, right?
we need workspace administrator access. User don't need workspace administrator access. They need role. On base of that role, they will do their work.
Workspace admin rights are permissions for the entire workspace where a model is held. If you give a user workspace admin rights within a model, They have workspace admin rights across the workspace. Likewise, if you remove a user's workspace admin rights from a model, it removes that user's workspace admin rights across the workspace. If there are models that you don't want the user with workspace admin rights to access, open the models you don't want the user to access, and in the user content pane, change the model role to no access.
So we can see here, if I provide any user to workspace administrator access, what happened? He will get in over workspace how many models we have, entire model will get access. In that scenario, what should we do? But if we want to provide one user, I want to provide workspace administrator access, but he will get the entire model access. If you have on that workspace 10 models, he will get the workspace for the 10 models. In that scenario, what will you do? We need to go for the other models and we need to remove access for that other models. Like this, even though he has workspace, by providing workspace somewhere, he is getting here also access we are getting. What should we do for this role? We should give the no access. Where he don't require that access, we should do the no access.
It is important that at least one user always
Yes,
Every
someone.
model builder will get WSA access, right?
Yes, every model builder will get workspace administrator access. You can see it is important that at least one user always maintain workspace administrator access. Why? If we provide one among all the users, if you provide one user to workspace administrator access, what happened? He can add the users. He can do the small changes. Whatever normal user can't do that one. So that things he will do easily. That is the reason we should give one candidate to workspace administrator access.
maintains workspace admin WSA permission. Note that you cannot remove your own workspace admin permissions in order to avoid being locked out of a workspace.
So we can't remove our own workspace administrator access. So someone should remove our own workspace administrator access.
Workspace administrators also have access to the model map. The model map provides a graphic view of the modules in a model and how they are connected.
So workspace administrator can view the model map as well. So model map nothing but whatever we have. This is whatever the model we have created here. So that model we can view here in model map. What are the modules we have created? So there is no need to do anything here. We didn't create any model map here generally. So what happened? If I open my model here, level 1, I didn't create so far any model map here. Whatever the modules we create generally, that whole modules we can see here. In model map, what are the list we have create, what are the modules we have create, everything we can view here. You can see what are the modules we have create and use this revenue volume input, revenue 01, revenue 01 price book module. All the module you can see what are the module we have create, revenue module create. I didn't create anything. You also you will get each and every one whatever the modules you have created. So all these things you can see under the model map. This access also generally workspace administrator will get.
They have access to the model management dialog box, which allows them to manage models. In addition to being able to add and delete models from the workspace, they can also import and archive models.
So workspace administrator even will get the manage model access also will get. You can see this manage model access. If I click here, I can create any new model and I will delete any new model. I can delete any new model, already existing model. I can copy any model. So whatever the thing I want to do, I can do here. I will get the access if I have workspace administrator access. Yes, we have completed this one. so even workspace administrator access as well. So we have few more things like selective access we have remaining here. So we need to discuss about the selective access, and we need to compare between the what is the roles and selective access and introduction to user list. So already user list we have seen here. We have seen user pane, how we will add how we will add user, that we have seen. Even we can see the user list as well. So in our module we have user list as well. So we'll discuss these two things tomorrow. So is it clear for everyone so far whatever we have discussed here? If you have any doubt you can ask here.
Asif, I have a question. When I look at that modules tab, roles to modules tab, I, I'm able to see only my modules,
Where you can see,
right?
come again?
So in
Yes.
users, when I look at my users, so scroll
Yes.
down, click that.
Yes.
So now we got like third tab, users modules,
Users
users
modules,
modules.
roles modules, yes.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So we are getting only modules here. So it is
Yes.
not popping up. So can we? So how to add? Okay, if we add something, it will pop up in the second column, something like that.
Yes, we'll get all these things here.
Each module.
Versions you will get, list you will get, actions you will get. What are the actions we have? For that one we should give the access.
Okay. So like an activity, can we create now or something like we don't have access to do those things?
You can create here. First of all we need to create role here. If you create the role, then only
Hmm.
we'll do anything.
Hmm.
Already I have created an example
Okay.
model. You need to create like for
Right.
practical
Right.
purpose, finance manager.
Hmm.
If I create this one, simply I can see the this one into, if I whenever I select the modules I can see this one without creating. How
Okay.
can I see? So
Okay.
we should create the roles and we should give the
Hmm.
access. Yes.
Okay.
Others, do you have any doubt? If you have
This
any doubt, you
model,
can ask
yeah,
here.
so models automatically it will upload it. So models and roles is there. Automatically we need that to create that one. Automatically if you open that one, automatically all models list is coming, right?
Yes,
This one.
yes. If you provide whatever the modules you provide the access,
Ah,
that module will get access for that user.
okay. That
Yes.
models automatically copy that from the model is whatever the models we are created, that is
Yes.
pop up in the roles and models.
Yes.
So
They
whatever
will
the
get.
versions we are, yeah, whatever the versions we are created in the model, that pop up in the version role,
Yes.
like that.
Yes.
Okay.
So everyone complete all this, like go through, these are the very important topics. So and update me. Manually we don't have any activity, but however I have created role and added how I have added user, same procedure you should try to do these things and update me. So each and every interview they will ask this question. So what are the roles and what is the workspace administrator access? So be ready for this one. So already so many